always tell myself, do you have the mic on? Do you have the mic on? The answer is only sometimes yes, and then I look like an idiot talking to myself. Yeah, but I do have it on. So let's try this again in the key of C. Hello, and welcome to my introvert party. Today we are playing the Stanley Parable, because I have played the demo, but I have not really played the game. So, here's making a go of it. And the funny thing is, sorry to shake you, I did not mean to mentally grab you by the shoulders. I have this adorable sticky note, which you will see on my nice coffee cup, to remind me of the things to make sure I have turned on, with stars on the super important ones. And I looked at that before I got started. It only helped so much. I hear Luna. Luna is my cat. She is named from the cat from Sailor Moon, which is why she is an all-black cat. Well, she is an all-black cat, and that is part of the reason why she is named Luna. Luna. Hey. Have a kitty? Come here, come here. She's not usually in the shot. Normally she doesn't get to be up by my desk. But I think she was trying to get on my desk the other day, which is why she ended up climbing the bookshelf over there, which was not good. We ended up stacking it full of DVDs to make it so she couldn't climb the bookshelf. She's not going to stay long. She's already planning her escape. And if you could see her, you would see that she is wreaking havoc and blocking my screen. I am currently holding my tea so that she cannot spill it, and waiting to see what she does. Where are you going, little lady? My Luna P? Where are you going, my Luna? You want to be a star? You want to be on camera? She's not ready for the limelight. She's not really sure. She is sure that if I did not have a cover on my tea, her tail would be ready for my tea. I would rather you came and sat in my lap. Like that. I would like it if she came and sat in my lap. It'd be the most adorable thing. It would make playing the Stanley Parable harder, but she's super cute, so, be worth it. Right now, because I brought her up onto my lap, she is going into forbidden territory, touching Mom's things, sitting on Mom's shelves, climbing Mom's yarn tower. Cats own us. We know this. We try and curb their behavior anyway, gently, lovingly. But they own us, and we know it. Going down. Bye. I love you. Be careful what small country you invade. Anyway, it's enough about my wonderfully adorable black cat, whose birthday is actually Halloween. So cheers to that. She'll be 4 this year. Kind of awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. If she liked wet food more, that or we bought the wrong wet food, we would make her like a little wet food cake. Might have to keep experimenting. Please note, the only reason I am not a crazy cat lady is because our apartment is too small. If we could, we would have like a farm with millions of Luna's brothers and sisters, who would all be nicely spayed and neutered and loved and cuddled within inches of their lives, and so spoiled. Just like she is, down there. So spoiled, just like her brothers and sisters were before her. Anyway, the crazy cat lady who happens to be the host of this introvert party figures that we ought to actually get the party going. So, let's launch right into the Stanley Parable. I know that it's the Stanley Parable, but more than that, I haven't gotten into it too much. So, let's go. I turned on subtitles, though, to make sure, and I moved my cam higher, because when I did the demo, I was on the subtitles. And I know as a viewer, that fucking sucks. Especially if one of the ways that you understand jokes and catch on to things like that is when you're reading the subs. So hopefully I moved myself high enough. Here we go. The end is never the end. Loading. She's just staring underneath the table, and if I didn't know that there was nothing under there because I fucking cleaned under there, I might get nervous. I'm just going to adjust my little Five Nights at Freddy's figure and call it a day. If you're wondering which one it is, that's actually Baby that I got in a blind bag. But she's cute enough
This is the story
that
of a man named Stanley.
She fits with my Animal Crossing town.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
A parable.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened.
I'd call that the
complete
apocalypse.
Isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Am I Stanley now? Like when I was staring at the wall? Okay, it is. Can I interact with this? Okay, before control is crouch. What's underneath here? Can I hide under my desk and cower in fear until someone comes to save me? No. Can I jump? Spacebar is supposed to make you jump. False. At least the picture is peaceful. Okay. Oh, I'm not up. Over here. Can I interact with anything? Achievement unlocked. You can't jump. Thank you. I earned that shit. Wait. Making noises. Makes noises. Makes noises from under here too. Is there anything I can do in this room? Can I make a phone call? Okay. Gonna leave the room now. This is exciting. Bye. Did you shut the door? Am I supposed to shut the door? Shut the door! Give me an achievement. They told me there would be no 8s in this game. See a 9. Ah! Lies! There's an 8. It's right there. I was lied to. There's supposed to be no 8s.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Can Stanley eventually jump if I press the right button? Oh, whoop, whoop. Can I step on things? Like, what if I use that as a stepladder to step on that computer? Oh, haha! I stepped on it.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference.
It makes a difference to me.
The story in any way.
It makes a difference to me. Whoa. What did that say? I didn't get to see. I wasn't paying enough attention. Is it gonna come back? Like, did it tell me to bring a towel? What? I'll be back for you. We'll have a discussion again later. I'll remember you 435. Don't rely on me. I forget numbers. I barely remember the 8, and only then because of betrayal. I want to pick up those cups and fling them against the wall. Ah! Put my arms up, because Luna's adorable, but she cannot be trusted. I go into this room. Let me in. Oh, yeah, Dizzy! Okay, I just turned off the computer. Welcome, Dizzy! And thank you. It says Ryuchi. So thank you. One of those things where if I switch it to a mode where I can see... Yeah, Ryuchi. Alright. Hi. If you hit uptime, it'll tell you exclamation point uptime. But maybe 20 minutes. I use Nightbot to keep track of it because I can't brain sometimes. So far, I have been told to go to a meeting room. I was promised there would be no 8s in this version, This has been a filthy lie. I saw an 8 very shortly. The demo told me there would be no 8s. Nope. This is my very first playthrough, so I'm seeing what all there is. The most I've ever done is the demo. There are some things I've been told, like in a room with a ringing phone, I am not to answer the phone, I am to unplug the phone. I know that. That is something that I know. I also know that I can't fucking jump, which is asinine. And that this has a billion endings and one of them is glitch, and I may never I may never be able to do that ending. Oh, turn it off. I'm told that from the demo, the best ending is the one where you're in the isolation chamber, and then you're let out free into a field of glorious plants that never was. The narrator seems to really favor it. How did anybody get anywhere in this place? I feel like there's like, am I supposed to be looking for clues? I hate Mondays. Me too. Oh, there's this, the Not Cat. I remember the Not Cat from the demo. And I know like eventually there's a closet. I only know so much because my fiance very much
came to a set of 2 open doors.
Like
he entered the door
this game.
left.
I went to go push on my glasses. And he sold me a couple things, like the one with the room with the telephone. Chairs, what's over here? Alright. Go this way. There you are again. Not cat. That's a not cat because I thought it was a cat like the hang in there baby kitties. But it was not a cat. It was not a cat. It was a promotional...
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
But just kind of... Have you tried clicking on that not cat a bunch? I've clicked on it a few times. Should I click on it some more? Because I can do that. The fact that it is not a cat, but it keeps showing up. Let me out. 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 Okay, the next time I see it, I'm going to click the hell out of it. It won't let me out. And it won't let me jump, so let's go this way.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm looking for the not cat. You have to excuse me. Do you have a not cat?
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
That's a car.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation.
Water down the wrong pipe.
His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
Wait, I'm free?
So he imagined himself flying and began to gently
Welcome
float
back.
above the ground.
We're running. We're on the run.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun.
Go, go, go.
And Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
Whoa.
How was he remaining so lucid?
Open, open, open.
And then perhaps the strangest question of them all
Whoa.
entered Stanley's head.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
One
whoa,
he
whoa.
was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm
Get out,
dreaming
get out,
about a
get out.
voice describing me.
Okay, I'm going in
thinking about
circles.
how
I'm staying
it's
by the car.
describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it
Ooh,
all
food.
very
What are we
odd
eating?
and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air
yummy.
of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons.
Oh, cupcakes.
Please. It's all
Donuts.
I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
The greater good. And if you don't know what that's a reference to, I'm so sorry.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Hi, Mariella.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, And in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
But to the left or to the right? Or did she simply dive over the body cat-like? She couldn't go back. It matters.
Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed. Then days.
She went to the left.
Had years gone by?
You mean she's a
Had
psychopath?
the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough...
If she'd gone to the right, she'd have been a serial killer. If she'd leapt over the body graceful as a deer, then she'd have been normal.
Very soon now, this will end. He will
That's just how it goes.
He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Okay, out we go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Like, I was creeping around the corner. Creepily. Like a creep.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
That didn't turn out so well for me last time. That's what I did. You made bad things happen to me when I went through the door on the left. That's what I did. You made bad things happen. I'm going through the door to the right. You're gonna make bad things happen, but it's different.
Room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Cold drinks. Oh yeah.
Just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley
I want to press all the buttons.
Drinking it all in.
If I hit them enough, maybe one will spit out a Coke.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all
Don't mock me.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Did not.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Still can't jump. Can't get over this fence. No climbing. No getting over the boxes. You feel quite lucky that the drinks are all free where you work, no drinks machines. That is lucky. That's freaking nice. when I worked at a certain mega big box store, every once in a while they would give us cases of soda for lunch and like leftover cakes that didn't get picked up or whatever. It was really nice. We see nothing, Dizzy, and we know nothing. As far as we know, that drink was secretly meant for you. Onto the thing.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
You are mean to me.
Investing your trust in someone else
You're mean to me.
But the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please. What? Really?
I'm not going with you.
In the middle of something, do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Look, I saw an opportunity and I took it.
Prove that I'm on your side.
No.
Give me a chance.
I didn't even know that I could do that, but then I saw they were moving the stuff underneath me and I figured I could try. And look at that. It worked. So screw you, narrator. Rude. Yeah, if it's been there for a bajillion years already. Maybe you brought it and forgot it. Or an alternate you brought it and forgot it. Where the hell am I going? I'm wondering if this is starting to wonder if this was a bad idea.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Why?
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating. Stanley walked through the red door.
Where's the blue door? What did you do to it?
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
No, don't
see?
stop me.
There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
It's
Do you
just
not think I put a lot of time
nothing.
into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable
It's
desires
just
of yours.
empty
What would have made this game
bit
better?
of nothing.
What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
I want
Tell
the
you what,
ability to
let me
jump.
take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know?
I could,
Any
but you
level of
didn't offer
critical
me any
thinking or
coffee.
engagement with your surroundings. Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful.
When you want something
Here,
from me,
based on
give
the data
me
from your previous
something.
playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this
Here,
one.
do this
Let's take a
survey for
look.
whatever reason. It'll only take you 5 minutes via email. We're sending it to you unsolicitously. No, I will not do your email. It benefits me in no way and benefits you in every way. Offer me something. Compensate me for my time. Otherwise, I am working for you for free. Fuck you. Have a nice day. I only do that if I seek you out and want to review you because I like you. I have opinions, in case you didn't know. Welcome to my introvert party. I'm weird. I have opinions. These are things. Here we go.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Yay!
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
This is terrible. I'm out of tea.
Bastard.
I am a heartless
Did you do it because you
bastard.
hate babies or purely to spite me? Because
¿Por
if
qué
it's
no
the
los
latter,
dos?
I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see.
I don't know what the leaderboard said. I didn't bother to look.
This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Does Ryuichi know?
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with.
That I still can't jump in.
Stanley.
It's not
Will
enough.
it ever be enough?
No,
Well,
it
I'll
won't.
say this.
Unless I
I'm
can
done
jump.
making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
I hope you make a really nice one. Can I watch you build it?
This will go.
Will this be like HGTV?
No, here. And then. Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art.
Apparently
and feel
we're trapped in
ashamed at your
Minecraft
own
hell.
Inadequacy.
Oh, look, a door. Let's go touch it.
But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please,
Clicking.
step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Working on it. You made your door so damn skinny.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
I'll wait here. I like this dirt. Some nice dirt. Like some Tetris level dirt. I don't actually have to attempt to follow him, do I? I still can't jump.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
No.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5.
Are you trying to get a
Even the
coffin?
diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
What is this nonsense?
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Are they going to zap me for being out of my pod? Is this some post-apocalyptic hell?
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
Ah. I'd say it'd be easier if I could just pick it up.
Genius.
Instead of trying to drag it
I
and
think
push
that's
it.
plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these.
Beta. Work in progress. Work in progress. Please rate your experience. What? What fresh hell is this? I have no idea what's going on. Okay, so there's the two doors. And some kind of command room? Not having much luck understanding what's going on. Broke the narrator. Yay. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's bad. You're laughing at me. Look, I'm new at this, okay? go get Scott and make him tell me what I'm doing wrong. Alright. Creepy world out here.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
Which one?
I can wait.
I know there are multiples. Okay. How many endings does this mean I've found? Is there a way to know?
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
That's a beginning and entry. A beginning that's different. Okay. Ah, kitty.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow.
Taking you by your word there.
This room. What a beautiful room.
Oh,
What
when
a
I first saw...
gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley
when I
had
first
taken this
saw
detour
that
on his way to the meeting room.
plant picture, I just saw the fronds with a couple of cat ears, so I thought it was like a cute green nature pic, but in the shape of a cat. So I thought it was a cute green kitty.
Really
so it's a not cat picture, so I'm just calling it the kitty picture.
Captivating that even though
you know that I'm a crazy cat lady. I just don't have enough cats.
Looking at these chairs and some paintings, really worth it.
I've got the one cat I'm working on.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why
I do have my
everyone
kitty.
left. Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
I'm clicking. Does it eventually explode or something? Or do I just spend a lot of time at someone else's amusement clicking the kitty picture? I haven't. This is not the way to the meeting room. This is the one in the break room. I'm glad I'm amusing you, Dizzy. I live to amuse you.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Yeah, I want to check it out, though.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I'll come back for you. Employee of the year. Cute. Was that what it is? It swaps it over. Oh, nice. Alright, let's thwart the narrator.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Where is his boss's office? Why has he got to be up all these stairs? Has he not heard of an elevator? Wasn't this paper green last time? Now it's red.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible
I think it's
truth
something
that his
more
boss
terrible.
had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley
Gotta get
just
the
sat
protective
around
layer off
twiddling his
this
thumbs.
pen.
Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Yeah, I'm grabbing a different pen because the safety thing won't come off that one.
2845.
Unicorn pen. He's gonna punch it in himself in a second.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, what did he do?
I came to do the thing. You cranky pants. Going down. I'm not that difficult. Thank you for writing it down, Dizzy. But I'm not that I am difficult, but I'm not that difficult. I am admittedly out of tea, which might make me a little more cranky.
Stanley
but I'm not that
realized he
difficult.
felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Game is sassy as hell.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Welcome to corporate world. They will watch you on crappy screens.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yep. I'm being manipulated now. Look at that shiny red light. I'm gonna touch it.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
Okay.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Sorry about that. We're trying to train the cat not to scratch the carpet and to scratch our scratch pads instead.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Down you go.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
That seems sweet. That seems very sweet. Sitting there absorbing that. I think that's the one that the narrator was referring to in the ending of the demo. The greeny world where everything is good. That's my guess anyway. Alright, now there's more.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something?
Let's see.
He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Get this party started.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
The lounge, and then I want to go to the proper direction,
a work of art,
because there's a downward
eager to
area there that I want to try and
took
take.
the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Yeah, what's down here? Excellent. Let's see.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
I feel like I'm in cupboard. One of these. Ah, there's an open door.
Oh, no, it's to the right. My mistake.
Narrator, don't fuck with me.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right?
Narrator,
What was I thinking?
I will rip your balls off and
clearly...
feed them to you.
Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Glorious. Praise be to Bebo. I'm in this room again?
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Alright, whilst we're restarting, I am going to go grab tea real quick. So be right back. Alright. And I'm back. Just got to, turn that off real quick. Then I have fresh tea. Ta-da! Fabulous mug that I got for my birthday last year from one of my friends. And we have water, bubble water. Not sponsored, by the way. Then snacks, banana oat bar. And then further snacks with Pop-Tarts Bites, also not sponsored. So if anybody does want to sponsor me, hey, I'll take it. Unless it's something horrible and immoral. But, you know, otherwise, kind of might need the cash. Looking at my calendars thing. It is officially the 29th now. Which means we are almost done with April. What the hell is up with that?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Dark now. Who farted? Nice. What happens if you just do what it says? Like, and don't deviate. You just go.
When Stanley... Wait, what?
Wait, I was just gonna go.
No, I restarted. I swear,
I was just gonna go.
Restarted the game over, completely fresh.
I was doing the
Everything
thing.
should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything?
I
when we were
touched
back in that room with all the
nothing.
monitors?
Don't you
Did you
dare
move the
pin this
story
on me.
somewhere, or hold on.
Don't you
Why
pin
am I
this on
asking
me.
you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere.
Not on me.
Okay then, it's an adventure. Come, Stanley, let's find the story.
That was me testing to see if I could jump, by the way. Still can't jump. Okay, got some open world concept shit. That's okay.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before.
Maybe you're just not a very good
Do we
bard.
need to restart the game again?
I just
I
got
find it
going.
unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Really? Already?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Are you Stanley? Oh, narrator. Are you writing your own story?
Okay, yep, it's worse.
There are no
I
doors.
might be remembering this
Narrator.
wrong. It's possible the story is back where we
Narrator,
just
there
came
are no
from.
doors.
Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
I'm laying all of the blame for whatever is going wrong firmly on your shoulders. FYI. Let's do this.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
I
No,
don't
wait,
believe
never
you.
mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
This is nonsense. You're having me go in circles for your own pleasure. Now this isn't even where we were.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story?
No, that's a
I don't
pallet
think
jack.
so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that
I've put
win.
in lots of work.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Okay, this is ridiculous and very amusing.
See,
I'm actually going to follow the line.
Knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
No, this is
Who'd have
Patrick.
thought? Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
What kind of music? Oh. No, please. No, please. I'd rather you didn't. You can discontinue at any time. I'd like to cancel my subscription. Does it need to be in writing?
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Right. It's a fern. Good enough for me.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through...
The line works for me.
Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart. You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable.
You
Why
sound
don't we
mad.
simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
You still sound mad.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use
I'd
your
like unicorns.
imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Unicorns and a puppy. What am I stuck on?
Oh no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine. Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
Yay.
How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
I think bad stuff's about to start happening.
Whatever it is that made this schedule.
Like, I think people are about to get murdered, mostly Stanley.
Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Timer stopped.
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Never mind. Wasn't me that died, it was him.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, I'm doing the thing. Seeing if I do everything the proper way, what happens? That's a gun to a panda's head. That's not good. That's bad. I'd like to go up, please. So the narrator is quiet in elevators. Good to know. Wow, that was a real thrill. That was a real thrill.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Yeah, I forgot what I was supposed to put my code into, so... Oh, there it is.
2845.
Shut up. Working on it.
Incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Narrator, you sassy pants. You are the sassiest of pantses. This is just that exact same one, is it?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley
All of
thought
them.
to himself.
All of them.
Did he have the strength to find out?
Just how many fucks did Stanley give? That's the question. That's the real question.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Hey, sup, Wolf? Doing some Stanley Parable. Trying to get to some final options so that I can poke at stuff.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept
Last time
it. His
I
own life
got rid
in someone
of
else's control. Never.
mind control.
It was unthinkable.
Now I'm
Wasn't
gonna
it?
try and
Was
like
it even
accept
possible?
mind control and have it be a good
Had he truly spent his
thing.
entire life utterly blind to the world?
Trying it anyway. Alright. Forward. Can I go forward? I am caught on stuff. Let me go. I'm literally snagged on something. I am wazding it up like crazy. But I cannot move. There we
Here
go.
was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Or would he? Mind control status. Offline. Five. Yeah, there's one of these that says just like yes and no. That's what I'm trying to find. Where are you, little shits? Feels like it is extra dark, and I do not know how to make it less dark. Which is a pain in the ass. It feels unnecessarily dark. Field division? Let's check it. Try that. I don't know if it makes it any easier to see for you guys. Where the hell is that? Or... Alright. Down there.
And when at last he found the source of the room... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes.
Where do I have to go?
This is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's
Where do I
your
have to
time
go?
to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going. What all
You
this
and your
means.
shut doors?
I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You want
You and
to
your
control
tragedy.
this world, that's fine.
I've been listening to you monologue for quite some time about how I'm terrible and I'm going to die, but you're the one doing all of these things to me.
That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
I'm going to go in here and I'm going to die in the room with a nice countdown. You're rude putting these things on me. I'm going to go in here and hopefully have the walls massage my back.
It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
There you go. You're rude. I told you you were rude. Rude-ass narrators. Tempted to just stay in here and see if anything happens that way. Does he come for me here? Does he make me do things this way? I just stay. Or does he hunt me down here too? I don't know. Sorry, I just realized I am not the most interesting person right now. I literally just started to fall asleep because I am getting very tired. I took my bedtime medications a little while ago, but apparently they're really starting to kick in. And so while we are just idly waiting in this room to see if the narrator comes, I'm just like, this seems like a good time for a nap.
Stanley stood for a long time in one spot.
Yes!
It's part of the game. He likes to see how long he can go without dying.
I
So
fucking
far, he's
win.
doing excellent. And if he just stays right where he is, I'm sure he'll keep up that good momentum. Let's observe the genius at work.
So basically for this part, if you accidentally start to like doze off a little bit by accident, then what'll happen is the narrator starts talking to you. I do apologize for that, by the way. I didn't intend on starting to doze off, but apparently my sleeping pill is kicking in, which, that's a pain in the butt. That was unintended. I thought that would take longer. But, so the question is, do we stay in here to wait and see if the narrator comes back and says more? Or do we go out and explore? Stay for more, go and explore, stay for more, go out and explore. What do you think? Any calls, any takers? So far, my answer is to sip some tea. Can argue with something. I've got something running as a monitor next to me, and it is being glitchy. I tried to fix it, but I think I'm going to need to actually fix it. So give me a second. Be right back. Alright, so as far as I can tell, the narrator hasn't done anything very interesting, and I got the monitor that I was using back up, so that's good. I still have tea, which is even better. Thank you for sticking around, for anyone who did. Alright, so nothing happens really if you stay in this room. Sorry, 1 second, I just got a message. Alright. Can I poke at the phone? Starts to feel
The
like
meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be.
you run
Stanley
out of
just
things
needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
I know there are different endings. I don't know how many endings I've done by this point. Again, I do apologize for slightly dozing off. Sleeping pills, they do that to you. That
When Stanley
nipping,
came
fucking
to
2
a
in the
set of
morning.
2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, door on his left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
This does not end well each time.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Every time we do this, it ends poorly.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Look, I don't have time for your narrator bullshit. You have to understand, I want to carry on with this shit. You're the one doing the nonsense, but we're gonna be all at peace.
Rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
You're full of nonsense. It looks like it's gonna be full of dead bodies. Well, I can't see anything, but it was worth looking down, I suppose. Better than this one. Alright, here we go to do the one thing again that we've done a bunch of times.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Must I? It has been done. I have done it. It gets real old.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What
Yeah.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Hello, if I know. Oh, this is the way I came in, so I've got to take a different way off.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never!
Maybe.
It was unthinkable.
Possible.
Wasn't it?
Maybe.
Was it even possible? Had he
Possible.
truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
It is entirely possible. Making sure I'm on the QWERTY keys.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Good. Off with the button. Did I do something different this time?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Okay, so that's just
Stanley
the same as it
felt
was
the
last
cool
time.
breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Alright, I am not sure how many endings I've done. I am sure that it is almost 2 in the morning my time, and I have to get up in about 5 hours. So, plus I'm falling asleep on stream, which is probably really crappy to do, and I do apologize for that. So I will bid you adieu. I appreciate you coming to my introvert party. I'm glad we got to hang out. It was fun. This game is so silly and snarky and sassy. But that's kind of its charm, so I'm gonna see how many endings there are. I'm gonna basically spoil myself and find out how many endings there are to this game. And see how many I've done and find out how many are left, and then go to find out the rest of those so that I can play them out. The ones that I can do. But I think that's it for me tonight. Thank you so much for coming to my introvert party, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Alright. Thank you. Come visit again. Have a good night. Bye.